So, a goal without a plan is just a wish. I know that the exam is just 2 months away for the candidates who are going to get it rebooked on 17th of August. The exam is going to be computerized, and there shouldn't be anything new because we are not new to the digital world. We know how to answer the questions, and whatever they want to notify you, they'll notify you through the mails. So go through the mails, see if there is anything specific that they have told you, the RCG people have told you about. Okay, going to how to prepare in this 2 months. So this video is particularly for part 2 candidates who have a vast syllabus now and 2 months left for the exam. So I hope that this video helps them to give the exam in such a way that they come out with flying colors, not only pass the exam. So starting with the tips for part 2 candidates. First tip, guys, you should know your syllabus. So you shouldn't be missing any particular guideline, any particular talk article, because we are not in a college, we are not actually reading together or studying together, so we may not know everything. So you should have something that is recommended, and something that is a standard against which you can find whether whatever you are studying is complete or not. So there are many courses, there are different pages, people keep on sharing what is the material for MRCG part 2, and if you're not a part of any of that, it's still okay, because there is something called as e-learning for trainees. So if you go through that, you will know the syllabus and you'll find out that you are not missing on anything. So in the e-learning for trainees, you'll find that there is the study material that is shared on the second and third page of the module. Go through that and see that you have not missed anything. Of course, I'll be sharing the important talks, the important NICE guidelines, and all the green top guidelines are already very important. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, guys, don't go by any other's way, choose your own way. You know how you study, you know how you remember. So others may require 3 months to pass the exam, you may require a little longer or even shorter than that. So you know how you want to study. Some of you are really well off studying in the morning, some study at night, they have different patterns. So do not forget your pattern, go by your pattern and stick to it. Okay. Third thing, make your own notes. Whatever, whoever, and wherever you get ready-made notes or someone gives you ready-made notes, do not completely rely on them. Make your own notes from the very first day you start studying. So make notes of the strategy material that you are reading. Make notes of the talk articles that you are reading, because these are very, very vast articles and you may not be able to just revise them before the exam. So that's a very important thing, because when you make your own notes, you are actually revising while writing. And then when you are revising it by just reading it, you know exactly what you're reading because your concepts are very clear. Then make charts. Making charts is really very important for the consent advices. So my wall was filled with consent advices. So because I used to forget the percentages. Again, there is a very good trick for remembering the consent advices, and that of course will be shared in some time. But yes, for the time being, start writing your consent advices, because that's the basic step. Keep them on your wall and keep on reading it while you're going around that wall any point of time. Make notes and make charts and write down your tables. If you know that all the green top guidelines, most of them generally have tables at the end, the algorithms that we call. Sometimes even the NICE guidelines, they have the stepwise thing, like what is to be done after this, after that, right? So when you make your own flowcharts, when you make your own algorithms, I used to write it at the back of my notebook. So before going to the exam, I just used to go through it, and then I went for the exam. I think I remembered maximum of it. I don't know how much I remembered, but I I really thought that it helps. So what I used to do is whenever going through the GTG, at the end of it, uh, read that chart that is given, then try to revise it by drawing it yourself in the book at the end of the book, so that you know where exactly are all the charts there. And then just see whether you're not doing it rightly. If you have missed any step, if you have written it wrongly, rewrite it there and there itself. So and then I used to keep some rough papers, so that before making it fair, I could write it somewhere. So that's how I made the charts. So even if it was there, some people even shared the charts together, but I always thought that whenever I write it, I remember it more well. So that is another tip, guys. Important thing is, you shouldn't ever go through the SBAs and EMQ books without a notebook, because it is really not possible to go through any SBA book or revise any SBA book once you have finished that. Depending upon the number of the books that are coming in the market right now, it's highly impossible to come back to the book that you have done previously. So whenever you are solving the questions, write down your answers which you found as doubtful in the notebook, so that when you are revising the notes, you are actually revising the whole book. Because whatever you know, and whatever you don't know is there in the book. So that is the only thing that you need to revise. Okay, so that was about the SBA and EMQs. Now, how to make things better when you're going near the exam. So try to keep half of the day for theory, half of the day for SBA and EMQs. You cannot read theory the whole day. You cannot keep on solving the EMQs whole day. So that's not possible. So try to keep, there is going to be change or there is going to be a lag in the schedule that you make. But it is better to go by a plan rather than not having a plan. So try to keep it segregated and try to solve the guideline together with the SBA book or the EMQ book related to that chapter, so that just in case you have any problem, you can solve it there and there. Okay, but if it's not possible, even then it is better to keep a SBA or EMQ book in your hand and go through the other things, because then you revise what you might have read day before yesterday. So the guideline that you have read day before yesterday, and you're solving the question and the same question comes. So at least you know what you recollect from the guideline that you have read 2 days back. Always have a group discussion. It's really important to have a group discussion. It's really important to have brainstorming, because whatever doubts you have get cleared through that group discussion. Not everything should be put in a group, because that is not going to be really worthy, but at least the questions which are really very difficult or doubtful, or a running set of questions like asking incidences to each other, asking success rates to each other, 1 2 3 4 5 6, going like that can really help you. And also putting in the questions that are in the group, discussing with your colleagues is always going to help make your concepts clear and solve anything that comes related to that material. Again, a very important thing to remember is not only to discuss them in the group, is also about the guidelines and how to recall them. Whenever you take a guideline, say for example, and you have read it some 15 days back, now you don't know how much do you remember from that. So keep your guideline closed. Try to think what were the bullet points in that guideline, how many numbers were there. So make the bullet points and numbers from the very first time that you read the guideline, and see that, okay, so there are 4 numbers which are important. So the incidence, the success rate, the recurrence rate, and there are these 5 things that are very important in this guideline, and these 3 things that I don't remember. So try to remember all of them before you open your guideline, and then that will not take more than 5 minutes. And once you open that, you know that, oh, I did not remember this and this and this, and you remember it the very next time. So the first time you'll remember only 40%, next time you may remember 60, and the very next time you will remember around 80 to 90% of whatever you have read, and that is for sure. And you will also cover your guidelines in the last 2 to 3 days. Don't worry about that. Just go by all these ways. Again, remember guys, we all have had our days of self-doubts. We all go through the same stress. We know that we don't have much time, because we always think that if I would have just got one extra month, I would have just got one extra day, one extra hour also just before the exam, then I would have made it. I would have at least covered the important things. But the time is never enough. What you do is you make a schedule. Try to revise when you are cooking. So like when you're cooking something and there is a time gap in between when you're doing something very actively, try to just revise if you can remember 1 2 3 4 points. If not, then once you are done with that activity, just go back and see. Do not revise when you're driving. So that is a safety advice. Again, remember, so you can just revise when you're on duties and you are not actively having a patient where you need to really monitor the patient. Okay, so when you have free time in your duty, when you are just in between two things, you can just revise and go through it. So carry your notes to your place of work. If your place of work is really very hectic, so you may just catch 2 to 3 minutes in between and revise a few important numbers there. Okay, and guys, always start dreaming about whatever you want to achieve. Say for example, you want to become now MRCOG. Start dreaming becoming MRCOG. We all think that this is something very difficult. Not this, anything that we want to achieve is difficult at the start, but once we start believing in it, once we start that we can make it, only then it becomes achievable. So never think that something is impossible. Start believing, and that's the first day when you start achieving it. So, and that's true, that's completely true, though it really sounds filmy, it's not. And remember guys, one more thing. MRCOG is an exam. It's just an exam that happens every 6 months. So 2 times in 1 year. So if you have not got a place now, it's just a matter of another 6 months. If you have failed in this exam, it's not end of the world. It's just a matter of another 6 months again. You are going for the exam and you are going to crack it. If not today, maybe tomorrow. But how you perceive and persist in this time, how you go about it is really very important, because that is going to make you strong. So keep yourself strong, take care of yourself, keep on taking breaks, because it's not really good to keep yourself stressed out all the time. Take breaks, take appropriate breaks. And very, very, very important thing guys, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, do not neglect your family, take care of your family, because in this pandemic now, everything has become really, really, really very hectic. Everything is out of schedule, so take care of your health first. And then MRCOG is always there with you to achieve. Yeah, I would say that, not to pass, to achieve, and you are going to do it. I'm really sure that with this video, you will be able to understand how to go about it when you are just near the exam. And all the best guys. Thank you very much.